Imagine thinking that this was a good album cover. Wow. Did you have your buddy who says he's got a camera and a tripod do the photography for you? Oddly enough, it's a great band. It's just that is a stupid cover. And hey, nice segue. Speaking of covers, is this a stupid cover? No, it's all right. It I mean, it promises something that you're not going to find within, so I guess that's pretty cool. Let's make this very, very brief, because this is like, I don't know, styrofoam. Reading styrofoam, and what I imagine eating styrofoam is like. What it's like to read Captain Marvel. It's like a peanut butter sandwich without jelly. It's dry and hard to swallow. And that analogy actually worked out well. Reading this comic, I find myself sighing a lot. It's kind of everything a comic book shouldn't be. Usually, I can find something positive to say about the writing or the art, but not here. There's the generally accepted rules of comic books where you have a ratio of text to art of, who cares about the story? It's, she's punching through the glass ceiling, and the usual cast of characters. Kelly Thompson, idiot. I don't know Carmen Carnero. You can't really blame the artist or the color artist or the letter. I mean, you can't blame the artist for drawing stuff like this because they're told what to draw. I guess they're told what to draw. I mean, what would happen if Carmen of the Meat, drew Captain Marvel, drew all the women just looking beautiful? Would the editors get it? Would the writers take a look at it and go, oh, hey, Carmen, yeah, oh, the male gaze, it just, it just makes us feel, not Gays, Gaze. It makes us feel vaguely uncomfortable because we're all either fat or we have A cups. I don't know. For some reason, they never talk about the female gaze, even though there's plenty of commercials with, dudes with six packs selling products to horny housewives in their 40s. Okay, so the if there's a generally accepted rules of accounting. Well, these are the generally accepted rules of comic books. You gotta have a ratio of the text to the art. Your boy talks about this a lot. The comic has to flow, and the scenes shouldn't bog down. And this is the first page. This is like, compare Star Wars, A New Hope in 1977 to the 1999 or 2000 Star Wars, whenever the hell the prequels came out. The first scene in A New Hope is a bad guy ship firing on a good guy ship, and so it's two ships cruising through space. Laser guns are just blasting, and you see the shields as they're trying to get away. Okay, the first scene is action, and in A New Hope, you are sucked into the story. It is, for a time, that was an amazing special effects, and even now they hold up pretty well. And the story holds up even better, especially because the actors were just phenomenal. Harrison Ford made that movie. But so did, Princess Leia and, Carrie Fisher and, all the other characters. And in the prequels, the opening scene was trade negotiations or something. They're in a spaceship and they're approaching another ship or a planet or something, and they have to go there for trade negotiations. I think I saw those in the theater. But the thing is, when we saw those Star Wars in the theater, it was an entire seeing a movie like that in the theater is an entirely different experience. You think it's awesome, and then a couple of years go by, and you watch it at home, watch on DVD or on your computer, and you realize, all right, not great. Anyway, so this is the first page, and you see this wall of text. So the first page shouldn't be like this. You should have something beautiful, something that, the first page of Spider-Man comics, at least back in the old days, or Daredevil or something, would have them swinging, doing something dramatic, legs out in the air, doing a backflip, swinging from building to building, or, Batman doing something dramatic. This is a, 30-year-old single cat lady with A cups talking to another 30-year-old single cat lady with A cups. I'm sure they're stunning and brave and fierce intellectuals. It's funny, a lot of these people, they always claim to be fierce intellectuals, but they show no evidence of it. Okay, you gotta have the proper ratio of action to build up. You can violate these rules as long as your story is good and your book sells. I should look up the sales for this. Maybe I'll do that at the end. Look up, see how many these are selling. But if you aren't a very good writer, like this writer, you should stick to the format. And the writer here overwrites and writes badly. First page is just a wall of dialogue. The second page has the necessary interracial relationship because it's pretty much a requirement if you work in mainstream comics. I'm sure the writers and editors are all in mixed relationships. They aren't hypocrites who advocate something they don't actually practice, are they? The next scene, they're walking in a storm drain, which a lot of people call a sewer. It's not. A sewer takes black water to a treatment plant. A storm drain just takes street water overflow out of the city. After a day of rain, it's relatively clean. You couldn't actually walk through a sewer without an oxygen tank and a spacesuit. There's way too much methane gas, and the bacteria would probably kill you. So a scene in a storm drain, it could be scary and full of tension. It could be awesome. But you have a woman and an African guy, so you know they're going to be fine because they have plot armor. They will never make any mistakes. They will never be at risk. They can't be. That would mean the writer was sexist and racist. That's the state of modern comics. That's actually the state of modern storytelling in general, modern films too. So the scene is completely flat and uninspired. You have two characters who are absolutely invulnerable. Thus, the scene has no tension. Without tension, there can be no resolution. And we not only don't care about the characters, we actually want to see them get to the monster, get torn apart by the Lovecraft monster, which is pretty cool in that scene. That could have been an effective scene, but it's only effective if these two are at risk, at threat. They have to be threatened, but they're not. They won't be. It would be great to see the monster kill these people or suck the meat off their bones like chicken wings. Hopefully they would be screaming in pain and horror the whole time. I'd like to see the writers and editors and pretty much everyone associated with the book also get eaten alive by the Tentacle Fap monster. Sorry to bring up a painful memory, Mr. Kurt Eichenwald. I would definitely not let him around my kids or my pets. Eichenwald, what are you doing with my python? No, Python is not code. It probably reminds him of tentacles, and he'll try to convince it to hump him. The next several scenes are the breastless wonder fighting the Kurt Eichenwald monster. Oh, there's some more text walls of nothing happening. Great. Yeah. She's stunning and brave the whole time. Then she gets saved by another breastless wonder. Look at that. Her butt is turned away from the camera, or in shade. Her back looks like a male bodybuilder's, a lightweight male bodybuilder's, but still. And her breasts, of course, are turned away from the camera. And that's a woman. Then she gets saved by another breastless wonder, who, oddly enough, is a mirror image of her because they can only draw. Oh, I wonder what this symbolism is. You thought we wouldn't notice this, but we do. We do. This was in the background. I had to zoom in to screen cap this. What are you trying to say here, guys? This is totally not cultural Marxism. Oh my God. This is so freaking lame. It's like they think they're so slick. You guys aren't slick. You're not slick, guys. Stop it. Yeah, apparently they can draw one body type, one approved body type, that body type. And that's, you know what? I want to avoid the male gaze. So come on. You didn't go to art school for this. Or did you go to art school at all? I don't know. Okay, you want to avoid the male gaze. Here's the thing. Women like to look at other beautiful women. That's just a fact. Women want to read about... Okay, I don't know if you've ever read romance novels. The romance novels written for women. The women in the romance novels are beautiful. The men are beautiful. Everyone is beautiful because it's a fun, escapist, sexy story. Having beautiful people doing great... living their fantasies. Living the reader's fantasy. It's escapist fiction. Look at the cover of a woman's romance book. It's a shirtless dude, just looks like, Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 80s, and some beautiful girl who's, probably got D cups, but she's like 110 pounds. Basically a Playboy bunny of the 80s or 90s. I don't know if Playboy still has bunnies or what. So all the women have the exact same body. 5'7", 120 pounds, B cup. And the usual cliches are present. As much as possible, the butt and breasts are turned away from the viewer's perspective, which they have to contort her body to do, and her butt is always in shadow. After that, nothing happens. Nobody goes bra shopping, that is for sure. And then some more nothing happens. That's the approved body type hero. Oddly enough, they gave her camel toe. Why? Why did you include a vagina? Why would you do that? That is so out of place. It's out of character. It's just really freaking bizarre. I don't know if that's supposed to be a shadow or what is that supposed to be, but it literally looks like she's naked with a happy trail. I mean, I assume this is just bad art, bad editing. They didn't do this kind of thing on purpose. Yeah, okay, nothing happens for 20 pages of just nothing. No, hey, she's in her underwear. That's her underwear. A pair of bicycling shorts and a tank top. Hey, more nothing happened. Are there breasts anywhere present? Look, women have breasts. Very few women have this. This is like a runner, a bicyclist, something like that. She has no breasts at all. Even a runner and a cyclist, they have some body fat. They have some breasts. This is stupid. They get in a Lamborghini Diablo something, and it flies, and it has huge rudders for the vertical flight control surfaces, but it doesn't have. It has elevators at the rear, but it doesn't have any ailerons on the wings because it doesn't have wings. So why does it need flight control surfaces at all if it uses some, magic physics? Because the writer loves and the artist loves the science. Approved body type. That's like a female bodybuilder before implants. Or not a bodybuilder, a fitness model. That's not a drawing. You didn't get into art to draw women who look like runners. Nothing wrong with runners, and there's nothing wrong with some guy in one of the comments where I was going off about this type of thing, the lack of breasts and butt, and Captain Marvel was going off on me about not all women have big breasts. Yeah, that's true, but some women do, and some women have small breasts, and some women vary, body types vary. There are a lot of very big breast, big hip women with tiny waists. That body exists, and all types of body exist. My point is, women don't all have this exact same body in every single comic. It is bizarre. I took a look at, okay, we'll take a look at this. This is the only interesting thing in the comic. This. I took a look at this other comic, Conan. It's this female Conan. It's the first issue. And I look at the cover. Whenever you see a woman on the cover, it's going to be a purse puppy, Zero. It's going to be a Mary Sue character. Except I opened the book, I started reading it. This is this beautiful, big-breasted blonde girl with a sword. And some of the tropes are present. She's beating up men, and she's drinking like a sailor. So that's kind of silly, kind of a little cringy, but they drew this beautiful girl with a sword running around, kind of a Conan character, a pirate character, a lovable rogue, and I couldn't believe it. I don't know who. I'm gonna have to look at the artist. The name wasn't familiar to me. Okay, greetings, Captain Marvel team. This week's issue was so good. Every time I pick up the newest Captain Marvel, I rush out to my car and read it right then and there. Why? I love this series and its ability to empower women through these female heroes. It's a freaking comic book, while also showing that these characters are vulnerable and human too. Well, human for the most part. You all rock, and I look up to you so much. Why? How does Captain Marvel, a overpowered Mary Sue, how does that empower anyone? It's a character you could never be. She doesn't. An empowering man or empowering woman is someone you look up to because they face challenges, adversity. They struggle. They overcome something. They get an addiction and they get clean and sober and they battle it and they come out through the other side, or they go to prison and they turn their life around. That's an empowering character. Captain Marvel's not empowering because she has no redemption arc. She can't ascend to anything because she's already there. The story is already told. She's at the climax. And the thought of climax and Brie Larson, that is not... I think if you told people Brie Larson had a love scene, they would leave the theater. Okay, so they empower women for some reason. It's a comic book. It's badly drawn art on paper. And you look up to the artists and writers. Get better heroes. Get better here. Get out more. Read more. Thank you for bringing some of my favorite heroes to life in such a beautiful way. It is my dream to write... it's my dream to write for Marvel one day. So you just get your knee pads out and start sucking this lady off. To continue to carry on your legacy of making unique, diverse, and empowering heroes. Well, you're missing a couple of commas in this, and you used empowering twice, and unique, diverse. Well, diverse and empowering are trite, hackneyed, overused phrases. So you're not much of a writer. I mean, just based on this quick thing, I'm not really being fair, but this isn't that well written because you're using trite phrases. So you're not much of a writer, but that means you'll be a perfect writer for Marvel, and you'll probably get hired, except you appear to be, Western, Northern European woman with blonde hair, so that means you probably won't get hired. I don't know. For some reason, Marvel people seem to think that women are oppressed in America. They seem to think women are oppressed in first world countries. Go to the Middle East. Women aren't oppressed in first world countries. They literally have more rights and privileges than men in the United States. Go sit in family court for a week. Go on your next vacation. Go sit in family court for a few days. Go look up some family court cases, family law, community property laws, distribution of assets, and child custody sharing laws and judgments. Men are discriminated against in colleges and in hiring practices. Yes, they are. There is no pay gap. A woman who is a waitress is not making the same as a man who starts up a internet company who's making $1 million. You're not comparing apples to apples. You're comparing an engineer to a waitress. Okay, you see, this stuff obviously pisses me off. She wants to work at Marvel. That's why she's writing this letter. She's probably going to write in several times. Diverse, empowering, diverse, empowering, diverse, empowering. Captain Marvel's some blonde chick. I don't know if she's diverse. Excelsior. Please don't use Stan Lee's tagline in vain. Please don't use that. It's disrespectful. If you run to your car and read this, I don't know what to say. At least the woman looks like Captain Marvel. I will say that about her. She's very pretty, but yes, she has your approved body type. Miss Marvel. Oh, great. Empowering, diverse. I don't care. This is stupid. This is all stupid. Should I look up the sales figures real quick? Hold on. Okay, so Captain Marvel number 6 for $4 sold 31,000 issues. Or I should say shipped 31,000 issues. For comparison, just to show you what... Black Cat sold 250,000 issues. Deceased sold 150,000 issues. Haven't read that. I should check that out. Okay, so Immortal Hulk, 80,000, 90,000. I don't understand how Immortal Hulk is just absolute dog food. Right? Yellow Flash likes it. I think he likes it, but I read it and it's just the same tired storylines. Look at who the bad guys are in every single issue of Immortal Hulk. He had, I think, issue 1 and issue 11. I tried to take a look at it, did a review, and it was kind of a little while ago, and the reviews are, obviously, even this reviews, I mean, I know my reviews are still rough, but I'm slowly getting better. So I should take a look at issue 1 and issue 11 again, because it was, Captain Marvel number 7 sold 26,000 issues? How come it's in the same month? That doesn't make sense, does it? I don't understand. Captain Marvel number 7 sold 26,000 issues. But Captain Marvel number 5 or 6 sold 30,000 issues. Do they? I don't understand how that happens. So anyway, it's selling 20 to 30,000 issues, but we're on number 9 by now. So I don't. What would number 9 be down to if it was? Probably low 20s, probably. So when will they cancel it? Oh, that's a good question. I could look at the other Captain Marvels and see, because I think it's been canceled. Someone said like 8 times? Is that possible? Is that freaking possible? Well, yes, of course it's possible, because they made the movie and they figure, well, we made the movie, so we'll bring the comic book back, and the movie will help sell the comic book, and it definitely has, because I think the first issue sold very, very well. But I mean, I've reviewed most of them, and a lot of other people are reviewing them too. We show most of the comic book, you see it's absolute crap. It's just, there's nothing in it for anyone. The woman who wrote that the one powerful review about it, the woman made sure to include, those are called buzzwords, like when you're writing an essay, you include diverse and empowering, because the grader wants to hear these kind of words. The teacher who's far left wants to hear these kind of empowering women, diverse, and all this kind of stuff. And it's just, the only reason she wrote all that nice review was because she said, I want to work for Marvel one day. Do you think she really reads Captain Marvel and reads it in her car? No. Nobody reads Captain Marvel. I would love to meet her. I would love to meet the person. I would love to interview some of the people who, I should go to this local comic book shop and talk to the owner. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Talk to the owner about what sells. Check it out, and maybe he'll be interested in doing a little interview. Maybe he'll let me record the audio, at least. If he doesn't want to show his face, I understand. So no, nobody's excited over Captain Marvel. That's insane. She wants a job at Marvel, so that's the only reason you give it praise, is you want to work for Marvel. And if she wants to work at Marvel, if I were her, she was the pretty blonde girl sitting in her car, you better shave the sides of your head and dye the hair purple, red, or green. Those are the approved colors. It's your protective coloration. It serves as a signal to other SJWs that you are far, far, far left and you're a feminist. You might also have to put in your profile that you are non-binary and queer, and you use they, them pronouns. And you have a hashtag resist, of course. Hashtag resist. And make sure you show your pinned tweet is a picture of Obama. There's a photograph of Obama has these cages for kids coming across the border, because when adults and children come across the border and customs, they don't know if the children actually belong to the adults, because a lot of the children are being smuggled in for nefarious purposes to hurt children. They're kidnapped and they're smuggled across the border. So, talking about children in cages, you have to separate the children from these adults until you identify the adults and the children and find out, are they related or are they kidnap victims? Are they being taken from the custody of their parents? For some reason, the media seems to... Anyway, I used to get digressing. But anyway, that photograph of the kids in cages is from Obama's tenure in office. And everyone posted the image and they said, oh, Trump has kids in cages. And then people had to correct them and say, no, actually, this is from Obama. And people still post the photograph. They just keep taking L's over and over. So they just keep taking shots to the nuts over and over again. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. And don't ever read Captain Marvel. It is hard to get through that comic. That is not... I've read 9 issues so far, and I would rather read Kim and Kim. Seriously. Kim and Kim is better than Captain Marvel. Kim and Kim sold 900 issues. Anyway, guys, I will see you all next episode.